Hey guys, this is Gerry, always the point for Kids First. Today, we're at the Kramer's Films That Changed the World event. It's going to be an exciting night. We're going to learn about this film as well, Bob Paul, Prayer for Rain, which is another inspirational film that inspired a lot of people. Kind of sad film as well. We're going to learn a lot about it and its creators. Let's go have some fun. Well, right now we're with Martin Sheen, who plays a huge role in Bob Paul, A Prayer for Rain.
Well, I'm delighted that you're here because the film is best received if it inspires young people your age, because the future is yours. You know, we haven't done a very good job with the environment, which this film points up, because of corporate greed and hiding behind the corporate shield. And so young people have to say enough. They have to stand up, take responsibility for what's being lost and reclaim it, and insist that the government reinforces the Clean Air and the Clean Water Act, and to go after the violators, the multinationals and the conglomerates in the United States here that we know cause so much damage to the environment. And, you know, we only got one world, that's it, one atmosphere. And we've breathed our part, and we've come up very short. So the rest of it is yours and your generation. So we're sorry about what we refuse to do or we're unable to do, but hopefully you guys will get stronger as you come together, because there are more of you now than there are of us, and you will help secure the environment, and you will have a healthier life for you and for your children.
Wow. Kids who are watching this at home or wherever, I hope you guys heard what he said, because it is very true. And I hope my generation does do a good job of protecting the earth and the atmosphere. And thank you so much. That was very inspirational. Very quickly, can you talk about your part in the film?
Yeah, I play Warren Anderson, who was the CEO at the time of the American company Union Carbide. They were an affiliate with India in producing a very widely used pesticide. Unfortunately, they were irresponsible in the plant in Bhopal, and they let a lot of safety regulations go by the way. And as a result, a tragic a leak occurred on December 3rd, 1984, in this community of Bhopal. And that night alone, 13,000 people died. And in the remaining 30 years, another 12,000 have died, and another generation is affected by the toxic water and land and the air. Also, the next generation, the children of some of these people, these victims who were exposed that infamous night, are now suffering with birth defects. And there are 2 clinics in Bhopal which we are supporting under the medical appeal for Bhopal. And that's what this whole evening is about, supporting these 2 clinics. And they're absolutely free to the victims. As I say, I play this guy who, you know, learned of the tragedy and went to India immediately. But when he got there, he realized the overwhelming magnitude of the tragedy, that there were so many thousands and thousands of dead filling the rivers and the streets of Bhopal. And the Indian government, the local authorities in Bhopal, charged him with mass homicide, but he fled. And with the help of the Indian government and the help of the American government, he was ferried out. And he never faced charges. He never returned. He never uttered a statement of apology or ever accepted responsibility. He hid behind the corporate shield until his last breath. My portrayal is a reflection of a great deal of corporate greed and what it means to hide behind the corporate shield and not accept responsibility. If the film says anything, it should encourage people to step out. When you make a mistake or you hurt someone, you apologize. You become present to that victim, and you do all that you possibly can to help heal them and their circumstances. Because of the absence of that in this film, that is a very, very strong lesson, I think.
that
You didn't realize what a windbag I was, did you?
no, I think that's a fantastic message. Very inspirational and very true. I mean, kids at home, like he said again, if you make a mistake, apologize for it. Take responsibility for it. Don't hide behind some shield if it's a normal if it's a real metal shield or a corporate shield. Thank you so much for talking to me. It's truly inspirational.
Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy the film. Enjoy isn't really a good word. I hope that you're moved by it and inspired by it.
Thank you so much. Well, right now I'm with Kat Kramer, who's the founder of this event, Kat Kramer's Films That Changed the World. How are you doing?
I'm very excited to be here for the 7th installment. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking. So, what made you create this?
Well, it's interesting because my father was Stanley Kramer, a maverick filmmaker. He made films with social issues like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and The Defiant Ones and Inherit the Wind, all before your time. But I think there are films that still resonate with us. And I wanted to start a screening series, a cinema series that would screen films with social issues, documentaries and features. And this is my 7th one. I ended up outgrowing my dad's theater, and I've been using like sound stages on the lot, and I ended up here at the Cannon for my last one, and this is the 7th installment, Bhopal, A Prayer for Rain, which is an impactful film. It's not a documentary, it's a docudrama, so that in itself makes it groundbreaking that I'm opening this 2015 season with this film. But we're also giving the legendary Marcia Hunt the first annual Hunt for Humanity Award, which I'm establishing tonight.
So right now with Ravikumar, who is the director of Bhopal, A Prayer for Rain. So what was the process of making this film?
Gerry, first of all, Bhopal is based on the worst industrial disaster in terms of human lives. 10,000 people died in a couple of hours in single night. So we had to do a lot of research to be correct. And research with victims, survivors, hospitals, doctors, carbide papers. A lot of research went on for years. And that was the most difficult part.
Well, it sounds very difficult. And what do you want people to get out of this film?
Yeah, I think the best thing, I mean, Bhopal is not something happened a long time ago in a faraway place. Bhopal can happen anywhere. Bhopal is us. Some survey shows that 40% of Americans live next to a chemical facility. So it can happen anywhere, like British Petroleum, Exxon Valdez, 3 Mile Island.
What do you think the moral message of the film is?
I think what somebody said, history, if we forget the history, we are condemned to repeat it. We need to relive the history to learn from our mistakes.
Very, very true. I think that's a fantastic message. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gerry.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Well, right now with Tim Edwards, who's a Bhopal Medical Appeal trustee. So how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm absolutely delighted and honoured to be here at this film series.
And can you tell us a little bit about Bhopal Medical Appeal?
We're a UK-based charity. We're the only charity in the world which is supporting the medical rehabilitation of the Bhopal gas victims outside of the country. We've been going for 20 years. We survive entirely upon the donations of compassionate, well-meaning individuals around the world. And our 2 clinics in Bhopal are doing remarkable work. They have treated over 30,000 people who otherwise had nowhere left to turn. And one of our centres specialises in the rehabilitation of children who have been born damaged as a result of their exposure to gas and water toxins in Bhopal.
If you would like to donate or volunteer for the charity, where would you go?
You have to go to www.bhopal.org. You'll find out everything about the charity there, including how you can donate. We depend entirely upon individual donations, so it would be wonderful if you could help out and chip in.
Well, definitely help out and chip in and go to that website and find out more information. Thank you so much for talking to me about this wonderful charity.
Thank you so much for your interest.
U.S. President, what is in any everyday's work for you?
Well, there's a lot. I'm not so sure how interesting it is to talk about the day by day, but we've been very successful in terms of collective bargaining and building the strength of the union and doing various educational outreach, and I'm involved in all of that.
So tonight you're going to give Marth, who is a very famous actress, an award. So can you tell us a little bit about how you feel and how honored you are?
I can tell you how honored I am. I've known about Marcia Hunt for a long time. You know, she's approaching a century with us, and she was a very well-known actress who was then victimized by the blacklist, which is a dark period in time in American social history in the 50s, but maintained and went on and was a great character, a woman of great character, and known for fighting for the rights of the individual and the right to freedom of speech and all kinds of stuff that I know for you is ancient history, but I'm ancient history for you because you're very young, which is a good thing to be.
Hey, I am honored to talk to you. I hope you don't think I feel that way, because I am really honored to talk to you.
Well, thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for talking to me about all this wonderful stuff, and I hope you enjoyed the film.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Well, right now I'm Teresa Sweeney, who's the producer for Bopple, A Prayer for Rain. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So, instead of normal producing, was there anything special for producing this film?
Well, it was a very challenging shoot because we shot it on location in Bhopal, India, and of course the subject matter was extremely serious subject matter.
Very.
This was the worst man-made industrial disaster in history, so we felt a tremendous responsibility to try to do something well and meaningful about this tragedy that took place 30 years ago and has since resulted in about 500,000 injuries, as well as 15,000 deaths.
Wow. And what is anything they can get out of this film, what do you want them to get out of it?
The most important thing is corporate responsibility and personal responsibility. The fact that in India, which was at that time a developing country, cut corners regarding safety, and the fact that the corporate empire in the United States was willing to cut costs led to a disaster, and it cost 15,000 lives as a result. So corporate responsibility is really key.
And for upcoming kids that want to be producers, what tips would you give them?
You have to have a tremendous amount of stick-to-itiveness. You have to have a tremendous amount of intelligence and a willingness to try to do something that says positive and constructive things to your viewing audiences. So if you have that stick-to-itiveness, if you have a desire to do something meaningful and creative, and you have the will to not give up, that's what it takes to be a producer.
I think those are wonderful tips. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. My pleasure.
And this movie is now on DVD, correct?
It is, yes. It's on Netflix, and we had a release here in the U.S. in November and in India in December to commemorate the 30th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
But tonight we're having Tim Edwards from London give a talk on what's happening currently to help the victims of Bhopal.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
My pleasure.
Well, guys, the event's over, and it was a blast. We learned a lot about the event and talked to the creators of it, and also the movie Bopple, A Prayer for Rain, and also talked to creators of them. Go kidsfirst.org for my full coverage of this event and also my review for Bopple, A Prayer for Rain. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That way, if you subscribe, you can see all our new reviews and event coverages first. I'm your host, Gerry, signing off. Bye!